Are you tired of your garden underperforming, despite all your hard work? What if I told you the secret to unlocking incredible soil fertility and vibrant plants isn't in what you add, but in what you don't remove? Today, we're diving into the revolutionary world of living mulch, a sustainable gardening technique that will transform your garden from the ground up. Living mulch is more than just another ground cover. It's a complete living ecosystem that works tirelessly beneath your feet. While traditional gardeners focus on what they can see above ground, the real magic happens in the hidden world of soil biology. Picture this. On one side, a struggling garden with bare soil between plants, yellowing leaves, and constant pest problems. On the other side, a thriving garden with lush green coverage, vibrant plants, and soil that feels like chocolate cake in your hands. The difference? One garden harnesses the power of living mulch to create a self-sustaining fertility cycle. The three biggest game changers you're about to discover are nitrogen fixation that works around the clock, moisture retention that cuts your watering in half, and weed suppression that eliminates hours of backbreaking work. These aren't just gardening benefits, they're fundamental shifts in how we approach soil health and plant nutrition. Here's the uncomfortable truth about traditional fertilizers. They're essentially junk food for your garden. They provide a quick sugar rush of nutrients, but they don't build long-term soil health. Worse, they can actually damage the delicate soil microbiome that naturally provides plants with everything they need. It's like taking vitamin pills instead of eating whole foods. You might see short-term results, but you're missing the complex web of nutrients and relationships that create true vitality. Living mulch operates on an entirely different principle. These carefully chosen plants engage in a symbiotic dance with soil organisms that's been perfecting itself for millions of years. When you plant nitrogen-fixing clovers between your tomatoes, their roots form partnerships with rhizobia bacteria that literally pull nitrogen from the air and convert it into plant-available forms. Meanwhile, the clover's roots are exuding carbon compounds that feed beneficial fungi, which in turn extend the root system of your vegetables, helping them access phosphorus and trace minerals from deeper in the soil. This nutrient cycling creates a self-reinforcing system where each component makes the other stronger. The fungi protect plants from diseases, the bacteria break down organic matter into plant food, and the living mulch roots create channels for water and air movement. It's like having a 24-hour soil improvement crew working for free in your garden. The world of living mulches is beautifully diverse, and each type brings unique superpowers to your garden ecosystem. Leguminous plants like crimson clover, white clover, and vetch are the nitrogen factories of the plant world. Their root nodules house billions of bacteria that transform atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, essentially manufacturing free fertilizer for your garden. These plants are particularly valuable in vegetable gardens where nitrogen demands are high. Dynamic accumulators like comfrey and dandelion act as nutrient miners, sending deep tap roots down to bring up minerals from the subsoil and concentrating them in their leaves. When these leaves decompose, they create nutrient-dense patches that feed surrounding plants. Comfrey is particularly rich in potassium, making it an excellent companion for fruit trees and flowering plants. For areas with challenging conditions, consider hardy ground covers like thyme, oregano, or mint family plants. These aromatic herbs not only provide living coverage but also release natural compounds that can deter certain pests. In shadier areas, sweet woodruff or wild ginger create beautiful living carpets while improving soil structure. Getting started is surprisingly simple. You can direct seed annual clovers in spring or fall, or transplant small perennial starts like comfrey or herbs. The key is choosing plants that complement your existing garden rather than compete with it. Low-growing, shallow-rooted plants work well around shallow-rooted vegetables, while deeper-rooted dynamic accumulators pair beautifully with fruit trees and shrubs. While nutrient cycling might be living mulch's headline act, the supporting cast of benefits is equally impressive. Weed suppression happens naturally as your chosen ground covers outcompete unwanted plants for space, light, and resources. Unlike landscape fabric or wood chips that create barriers, living mulch creates active competition that actually strengthens your garden ecosystem. Water retention becomes dramatically more efficient as living mulch creates a microclimate at soil level. The leaves shade the soil surface, reducing evaporation, while the root systems create channels that help water penetrate deeper instead of running off. During heavy rains, the plant coverage prevents erosion and soil compaction, maintaining the fluffy soil structure that plant roots love. Perhaps most importantly, living mulch creates habitat for beneficial insects and soil organisms that form the foundation of a healthy garden ecosystem. Ground beetles that hunt pest insects need places to hide during the day. Beneficial wasps need nectar sources to fuel their pest hunting activities. Native bees need diverse flowering plants throughout the growing season. Living mulch provides all of these resources while simultaneously improving your soil. Transforming your garden with living mulch doesn't require a complete overhaul. Start by identifying areas between your main plants where soil is currently bare or covered with traditional mulch. These spaces are perfect candidates for living coverage. Begin with a small test area, maybe a 10-square-foot patch around a fruit tree or between rows of vegetables. For annual areas like vegetable gardens, consider fast-growing options like crimson clover that can be planted between crops or as a cool season cover when beds aren't in active production. In perennial areas around trees and shrubs, establish longer-term plants like comfrey or perennial clovers that will provide benefits for years. The biggest concern most gardeners have is competition with their main crops. The secret is choosing living mulch plants with complementary growth habits and resource needs. Plant shallow-rooted clovers around deep-rooted fruit trees. Use low-growing herbs around tall vegetables. Time your planting so living mulch is established during your main crop's dormant periods. Management is refreshingly simple. Most living mulch plants can be mowed or cut back if they become too vigorous, and the cuttings can be left in place to decompose and feed the soil. Some plants may need occasional division or reseeding, but this is far less work than constant weeding and fertilizing. The beauty of this approach is that every small step builds on itself. As your soil biology improves, your plants become more resilient. As your plants become healthier, they attract more beneficial organisms. Start small, observe what works in your specific conditions, and gradually expand your living mulch areas as you see the results. Your garden is asking you to think differently about what grows between your plants. Instead of seeing empty space that needs to be covered, see it as an opportunity to create a living system that feeds itself. The hidden world beneath our feet is ready to transform your garden. You just need to give it the right partners to work with. Ready to revolutionize your garden with living mulch? Subscribe to Soil Sorcery Studio for more sustainable gardening secrets, and share this guide with fellow gardeners who are ready to discover the fertility that's been hiding right under their feet. Your soil and your plants will thank you for making the switch to this ancient wisdom that modern gardens desperately need.